welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about how to become an executive virtual assistant. So we will talk about common tasks and common tools that are being used by an executive virtual assistant. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Regine Rehansha. I am a co-founder and a managing director of Strategic Assistant Services. I am a freelancer, virtual assistant, a full-time mom, and now a content creator. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. And also subscribe, like, and follow all of my social media accounts. Alright, so to get started, okay, let me just present this. Alright, so Executive Virtual Assistant. Today, again, we will be talking about tasks, skills, and the tools that you need to learn in order for you to become a virtual or an executive virtual assistant. So first, let's define what is an executive virtual assistant first. So an executive virtual assistant is a remote professional who provides administrative, technical, and creative support to executives, entrepreneurs, or businesses. EVA in short, services are similar to those provided by an in-house personal assistant, but the difference is that EVA operates from a remote location and uses online communication tools to stay connected with the client. So that's the only difference. We're just really working virtually compared to an executive assistant. So EVAs can handle a wide range of tasks, such as managing emails, scheduling appointments, making travel arrangements, managing documents, handling social media, conducting research, creating presentations, board meeting assistance, minute taking, managing projects, and many other tasks that your client needs help with. So it varies. And with regards to each task that you are actually expected to do, like let's say managing emails, there's a lot of YouTube videos that you can actually watch on how to manage emails. But I'm also going to give you tips before the end of this training video. We're also going to be talking about how to do calendar management before the end of this video and many more. You can also take a look on our website at strategic-assistant.com. Under the services that we provide is Executive Virtual Assistant. So you can take a look of the other specific tasks that is commonly given by our clients. So we, from the word itself, executive, just like on our first definition. So, meaning to say, you will be working with clients that are business owners, entrepreneurs. You will be supporting them. So, we have those kind of clients with SaaS. All right. So, that's all about it. Again, with regards to specific tasks that is being mentioned on my slideshow, there's specific videos that you can actually find on YouTube on how you could do those specific tasks. So if you're really interested to become an executive virtual assistant, you really have to learn. So these training videos that I'm creating are just more on like introducing you or giving you basic information about the task of a virtual assistant. But if you want to be ahead and be knowledgeable before getting a client, go ahead and check YouTube videos about each task that is being mentioned here. Right? So that's it. Now, I'd like to focus more about the skills that you need to possess aside from the common task that the clients will expect you to do. Now, I'd like to focus more on the skills that you need to possess. So if you think you have all of these skills, or if you think you can develop this kind of skills, then you're good to go for being an executive virtual assistant. So again, you're going to be working with business owners, executives, and mostly, since the clients that we're handling are Americans, mostly international. So you can expect that they have a lot of things that they're doing on a daily basis. They can be those type of an entrepreneur that's handling more than one business, and they might have an 8-hour job plus a business that they're handling, so they're really really busy. So um, you need to make sure that you have all of these skills that you as a executive virtual assistant. So first things first is time management. All right. So you're working virtually, so you need to make sure that you handle your own time in order to handle your client's time, right? So as an executive virtual assistant, you will be responsible for managing your boss, or your clients rather, your client's schedule, and ensuring that they meet their deadlines. There are a lot of tools, or few. I'll actually introduce you to a few of the tools later on, before the end of this video, on how you will be able to effectively manage your client's time and your time as well in managing your client's day-to-day work. Okay, yeah, that's it. So next is communication. So this is the second one that I'd like to give emphasis. Excellent communication skills, both written and verbal, are crucial for an executive virtual assistant. So you will need to be able to communicate effectively with your client and your other team members. Sorry, I wasn't able to edit the word boss, but to be honest with you, with American culture, they don't want to be called boss. So let's just say, we usually call them just on their first name, and we don't call them boss. Sorry about my slideshow. So, second skill is communication. With SaaS, we actually have like an end of day report as part of our communication with the client. So, it can be in a form of email, or it could be in a form of a communication tool that the client shows us to, communicate with us, either WhatsApp, and we're going to talk more about those tools later on. But communication is really, really, really important, especially again, we're working virtually. So we need to make sure that even if we're working on a specific task, we should be looking at our email, or the communication tool that we have, that you and your client agreed to use. So let's say you have WhatsApp. um, you need to ensure that you will be able to reply to the client on it, immediately, or at least within few minutes after they send their message, because we're working virtually, so they will really doubt us if they sent like a message 30 minutes, and then or right now, and you will be able to reply like 30 minutes or an hour, and it's within your shift. So that's really is not a good practice. Okay, so you might be thinking that yes, it is a common thing that you really need to be active on all of your communication tool, but you know what, it's still happening to the VAs that I'm handling. We're in, since I'm actually part of their group chat, I can see if they will be able to reply on a timely manner, or if they're like, it takes like 30 minutes or an hour before they will be able to respond to the client's um, emails or messages, and that's a no. Okay, so communication is the key. All right, that's both written and verbal. And yeah, okay, I don't have a third one, so I missed the number three. But yeah, this is the next, which is tech savvy. So since your role is virtual, you will need to be comfortable using various digital tools and software to collaborate with your team and communicate with your clients. So with this, there's a lot of applications and tools that actually has the same feature. So if we say communication tool, or if we say CRM, or if we say even emails, there's a lot of providers. However, they have the same feature. So if you, I think those who really wanted to become an executive virtual assistant, as long as you know how to use computer, all of the basic tools like Microsoft Office tools, Google Apps, and all those things, it will be easy for you to learn new tools or softwares. Well, there's a lot of free videos out there. Let's say the client wanted you to use a new tool that you haven't really heard before. Go ahead and do your research, watch YouTube video, and then if you are still unsure, the client is actually willing to train you. The usual role, or the usual thing that's happening, is that they actually what do you call that, create video instruction to help out the VA. So that's the normal things that's happening within the client and VA relationship. So Tech savvy, you really need to be this in order for you to, grow your career as a virtual assistant in general. Next is flexibility. So you don't really have to be that flexible, literally, like just the picture that you're looking at. But what I'm trying to say is flexibility. You may be required to work outside normal business hours depending on your client's need. Therefore, you should be flexible and willing to adapt to changing circumstances. So, with this, the main thing that you really need to be flexible on with regards to time is that we follow the client's time. So since we're handling Americans, Canadians, or international clients, we follow their time. That's one of the pitch that we provide during discovery calls with the client. So, well, that's a normal thing, especially if you worked as a call center agent before, just like me. I'm used to working like 8 p.m. my time, and it ends like around 6 a.m. my time. So as they say, I'm like a zombie or something since I'm working on a night shift. But I've been doing it for now, I think more than 6 years now, or more than 7 years, I guess. I lost count, but working at home and, with this career, I'm still blessed and grateful to be able to, still do the things that I wanted to do, even though I'm working at night. So it just really is more than about time if we talk about flexibility. And uh, with SaaS, we haven't or we don't really require all of our VAs to, to talk to their clients outside their working hours. We have this, we respect the VA's time. We always check and require the VAs to be communicative and, of course, during their shift. But if it's outside their shift, we understand if they will be able to answer their client's email or messages if they're already working or the next shift. That's totally fine. But the thing that I'm trying to tell you here with regards to time is we follow their time when it comes to working. So it's usually a night shift here in the Philippines. Next is attention to detail, and this is one of the skills rather that you really need to have if you want to become an executive virtual assistant. So you are assisting an executive, a business owner. So being a detail oriented is essential, right? So you will need to ensure that everything is accurate and error free. And this is for each detail. So if the client tells you to do something or a task, you need to make sure that you understand all of the details. Well, the client is actually it's better for them if you're going to ask a lot of questions rather than not asking at all. So if you're not understanding a specific task, you need more information, um, go ahead and ask. All right, because as an executive virtual assistant, you really have to make sure that all the details on a specific task, you need to ensure that you understand it. Okay, so don't hesitate to communicate. So we're going to go back to the second point, communication. Don't hesitate to communicate, to ask questions. The clients actually wants it that way. For them, it means that you are being attentive. It means to say that you are really trying your best to understand the task or whatever it is that you're working on. So if you're not asking question, they sometimes question it if you're not asking. Okay. So next is problem solving. Okay. So you will be expected to find solutions to problems that arise in your client's work. So having strong problem solving skills is essential. So this is not just being an executive virtual assistant, but this is being a virtual assistant in general. So, I'm a business development BA, but this is one of the strong traits that I have. Once I find a specific issue or a challenge, I make sure to be proactive. Actually, proactive is one of the skills that I'll be talking later on. But you have to be proactive in solving that kind of situation or challenge. Um, just like me, since I'm a business development BA, just to share, um, there are times wherein it's hard to generate leads, or there are times wherein I'm generating lesser number of leads compared to what the clients wanted me to generate on a daily basis. So if that happens, if I am not meeting the metric, I'm trying to solve it. So what I am usually doing on my own is I am doing research, and I'm trying to find other solution on how to generate more. So usually the answer to that is having the right tool, or getting additional tool in order for me to meet my metrics or something like that. So if you see a problem for whatever task it is that you're expected to do, you are also expected to have a solution to it. So I usually go to my client telling them about the situation or the challenge that I'm having, but I'm not just going and telling them about the problem, but I also have a solution before I go to them. Okay, so YouTube, Google is our friend. We can always, or even Chat GPT. We have a lot of AIs out there that we can actually ask, and just be strategic. So if you cannot find it on, well, I doubt that you can find it there, but just Google it. You'll be able to find few answer. And if you're still not sure, and if you're part of SaaS, of Strategic Assessment Services, you have your account manager or your supervisors to help you out. Okay, so you have a lot of resources. Next is, of course, confidentiality. This is one of the skills that you should possess as an executive virtual assistant. So you may have access to sensitive information. This for sure is. You should be able to maintain strict confidentiality and handle confidential information with discretion. So, um, for a business owner like me, if you will be my EA, let's say, just an example, there are things that you will, or files that I will be giving you an access. So I would want you to make sure that it will not, it will not leak, or nobody else will be able to access it except you, because I trust you. That's one of the skills that you should be able to possess. Now, other clients that we have actually goes and literally they're giving other details, not just files, but they're also giving information such as credit card information, all those things, especially if they ask you to subscribe on a specific tool. So if they don't have time to do it on their end, they're just going to give you the card details. So those things, it is really is automatically you need to have that skill to be confidential, and those things you should know how to handle it, right? So lastly is proactivity. Proactive. All right. So anticipating the needs of your boss and taking the initiative to complete task before being asked is a key attribute of an excellent executive virtual assistant. Right. So being an executive assistant, normally you don't have like fixed task, or you can have that, regular task on a daily basis, like managing the email, managing the calendar of the client. So those were part of your regular task. But most of the time, uh, you will have like different tasks on a daily basis depending on what the client's needs are. So if you have quite a lot of time and you see something that needs to work on, like let's say right now I don't have any new tasks, so I'll proactively just work on like managing the files, something like that. So you have to be proactive in that sense, and then you can also be proactive in a way that you can ask the client what should be my task on this day, since I don't have anything on my list of tasks. So something like that. Being proactive is one of the let's say great skill that you really need to possess as an executive virtual assistant. This is also for you to ensure that you will stay longer with the client. So if you're not going to be proactive, especially if the tasks are already completed and you don't have anything to do at all on your day, or on a day-to-day basis, then you can ensure that that you can keep this client if you are proactive. Okay. All right. So overall, being an executive virtual assistant requires a combination of technical and interpersonal skills to help your client and your team succeed. Okay. All right. So next is, let's talk about the tools that you will need to learn. So this is one of the important things that you need to learn. So I already mentioned few like Microsoft Office tools. So these are basic tools that you really have to know, like Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and all other tools. And then of course Google Apps. So it includes Gmail, Google Drive, Sheet, Word, all the other things. I'm gonna show it to you after this slide. And then communication tools like Discord, Slack, Teams, etc. And lastly, to-do apps like Trello, Asana, Monday.com. So I'm gonna be showing you a few of those tools. Let's see. So I'm gonna skip the Microsoft Office tool since I do believe that everyone already knows how to use it, especially if this is being taught in school, and you can also learn this on your own. And if you wanted to learn advance with this tool, especially if you're still waiting for your client, then go ahead and watch YouTube videos, or you can also enroll to free um, what do you call that, learning websites like Udemy, Coursera, or even with LinkedIn. That's actually where I got my certificate with regards to Excel, advanced Excel, if I'm not mistaken, if I still recall it. So I got it from LinkedIn, wherein I was able to access it free for a month. You just have to have a debit card or a credit card in order for you to sign up for that 1 month free subscription. And if you're not planning to pay anything for it, just make sure to utilize your 1 month free, and then you can cancel it on the third week. In order not to be charged for the monthly subscription. And then even though you cancel it on the third week, they're still going to give you the whole month for free. So that's how I was able to get a certificate for that. So Microsoft Office tools and all of those free website that you can actually learn it, go ahead and take advantage of it. Okay. Now Google Apps. Let's be more specific for this. So one of the things that you have to be familiar if you're not yet using it is of course email or Gmail. There's Microsoft or Outlook as well, but once you already know, as you know, they have the same features. So you just have to know one email, and then you'll be able to learn the other in case your client requires you to use a different email provider. So let's focus on Gmail. So if you haven't really explored Gmail, please start doing so. So this is how my email look, and I have 6 unread messages here. So I'm gonna go over this later on, but first things first is I actually have labels here. I created these. You can also do this if you're managing your client's um, email, in order for you to prioritize every email that's coming in. So as you know, or if you're gonna do your research in America or in the US, they're actually receiving a tons of emails on a daily basis. Especially they're getting like sales or marketing emails, those kind of offers through email. So you have to filter it out for your client, especially if you're working for a for well, you are going to be working with an executive, so they're business owners, entrepreneurs, and yeah. So create labels. It will also depend on your client's preference, but the two of you can actually work it out how you're going to be working on labels. So as for me, I did add labels for email marketing, and of course I have important. Though once you actually click this star here, it automatically put that email under important list. But I created another one under label. This is just for my preference, and then I have other labels that I created here depending on which emails I wanted to have an access immediately, or easy way to access them. All right. So once you already have your email, make sure that on your setting, of course, you have to be professional in the way that you're handling your email. It may be your own email, or it could also be your client's email that you're handling. So if it is your own email, the usual way or the usual process is that the client is actually going to give you a business email, just like what happened to me. One of the clients that I have, or most of them actually, gave me my own email. Let's say, no, it's okay. So yeah, that's the normal process. They're gonna give you, or you can actually use your free email. With SAS, we actually ask our VAs, especially those who pass the application process with SAS, to create a SAS email. So it's usually first name that's strategic at gmail.com. So that's what our VAs are using, especially when it comes to sending out end of day report to the client. However, if you were already given a personal or a business email rather by your client, that would be your that is what you will be using moving forward. So first thing that you need to do is to make sure to create a signature, email signature. So with this, it will depend on how your clients created the signature as well. You can just simply copy it. If you don't have the logo or what do you call that, the other things that you will need create the to create the signature, you can just ask your client for that. So this is how I did my signature. Of course, your name, your job title, your contact details, and other things that you can put here, depending again on, because this is part of the branding actually. So you just have to follow your client's business email signature rather. Okay, so make sure you have this set on your business email, or even your SAS email. Okay, so aside from Gmail, let's talk about Google Calendar. So with Google Calendar, you can access it either here from your email. You can just simply click Calendar, and then once you click this to maximize it, or you can to open it in a new tab. This once you click this, it will be like this. It will open up in a new tab, and this is how it looks. So this is another thing that you can actually work with your client. This is one of the common tasks that you can do for your client as an executive assistant. So managing their calendar. So what I am doing, I've actually read, like, I'm not too sure. It's not a coach, but it's what do you call that? It's an advice. Um, don't start your day without plotting schedules on your calendar, so something like that. And it resonates to me, especially because I want to stay organized. I want to make sure that I will be able to be productive on a daily or on a weekly basis. So I make sure that everything that I do is plotted on my calendar. So it's not just about the meetings that I'm having on a daily basis. As you can see, most of these are meetings like team huddle, social media reporting, admin reporting. These are meetings, or Google Meet meetings. However, I also plotted here other like reminders for me, like from on an every 8 p.m. I have here a start. It's just a reminder for me to start working with a specific client that I have. So this is just a reminder for me. Okay, Google is now reminding me for
I've got some
another
reminders for
call.
Regine.
Hey Google, cancel it.
Got
Okay.
it. Cancel.
All right, sorry for that. So this is calendar. Well, you just have to play with it if you haven't used it before. If you can use this again to manage your day-to-day tasks, just like what I'm doing. Or of course, you really have to use this if you have a meeting, virtual meeting with anyone, or if your client says, go ahead and send a Google invite, or yeah, a call invite with this specific person. So if your client is using Google or Gmail, then you have to go here for you to be able to send an invite. So let's say the client says, send me an invite 6 p.m. Monday, that's March 13, for an hour. So I usually just click on that time, and then I add, let's say, just check check-in meeting. It's just a check-in meeting, something like that. So here's the time. As you can see, that's March 13, 6 to 7 p.m. That's only 1 hour. And then under here, you just have to add the client's email, or whoever it is that your client wanted to meet on that specific time. So just add the email address and then click save, and then automatically that person that you invited for call will be able to receive an invite. Okay, and they will be able to join the meeting using this. All right. So this is okay. Let me just remove this. All right. So don't hesitate to play with these tools. These are totally free, so you can go ahead and do that. Oh, by the way, before I get back to the other tools, let me just go back to email first. So, I just need to reiterate this as well. You being an executive virtual assistant, you are handling again business owners, executives. So you have to be professional when it comes to talking to them or communicating with them. And one of the things or one way, regular way to actually talk to them is through email. So when it comes to emailing or sending an email, you need to make sure that you're also showing that you are professional. So here is how I usually do my email. Once you click compose, my signature is automatically populated. That's the way that I put it into settings. So you can also do the same thing. Once you create your email signature, you just have to click on the tick box that says that the email signature will automatically pops up. So of course, you need to put in, let's say, the person that you're trying to send an email or your client itself. So subject line, don't forget to always add this. Okay, so let it be your what do you call that uh, it needs to be automatically done on every email that you're doing, even to just your friend or to anybody that you need to send an email to. Subject line is always needed. Okay, so let's say we are emailing Fred for some follow-up report, something like that. So you can do your subject line like that. And then, of course, you always need to start with hi or hello, and then the name of the person that you're trying to email. And always, there should be a space before you compose the entire email. Okay. So, with regards to if you were a call center agent, you always have this like opening spiel on a call. You're also going to be doing the same thing with or in email. So, I usually do Happy Monday or hope your week is off to a good start, or you can also do how are you? Hope all is well, something like that. But if you are a creative person like me, or you don't really have to be creative, you just have to be wise on how you're going to be getting those opening spiel. I usually just do I Google it. Well, almost for everything you will have Google to answer it for you. So you can Google it by let's say opening spiels or email, something like that. So this, okay, so you have all of the answers. So at least it will not always be the same thing that you're just gonna to open up the email, you will just use the word how are you. No, so you have a light or it's actually called email openings. So you can Google it for different ways or different sentences for you to open up the email. So as you can see, we have here, I hope this email finds you well. I hope your week has been great so far. Good morning or good afternoon. So I'd like to use this one. No, today's already Thursday, technically here in the Philippines. So I'd say, I hope this email finds you well. So I hope this email finds you well. Great. So it's automatically pops up. And then you can go ahead and continue with whatever reason that you're trying to email this person. So I hope this email finds you well. Just wanted to follow up. Let's say about the sales and marketing report for last week. Thank you. So that's the closing, uh, I'd say, closing the email, closing spiel if you were a call center agent like me. So something like that. So just simply having hi and then the name of the person that you're trying to email, the body of your or the email opening, and then the body of your email, and then of course the closing spiel, and then your footnote, and of course your email signature. So always make sure that there's a space in between. And aside from that, there are with regards to what do you call that? replying to the email, you also need to make sure to follow the same format. So you don't just simply, since you were already or you already have an email thread, you're just gonna jump in and answer the email or answer whatever is the concern in the email. No, don't do that. Still follow this format. So let's say, for example, this person send an end of day report. So once I reply, I will still do the same format. Hi, Win. Hope your shift, you had a great shift. This is acknowledged. Okay. Well, I'm just really acknowledging the end of day report. So that's just really how I will be sending the reply. But still, as you can see, I'm following the format. This is how you're showing that you are a professional executive assistant, even just simply following the email. I call it email etiquette or something, but yeah, there it is. I sent it out. And if the email thread goes on and on and on, let's say this person replied and she has more question or something like that. So you just have to reply again, but follow the same format. Okay. So please bear in mind to follow this format. Okay. So I guess we're good with email. So what other Google apps we can actually talk about? So there's also Google Drive. I think everyone already knows this, so I'm not gonna dive deep to it. I'll continue with the other tools. So let me just go back. Let's see. So the other tools that you need to know are communication tools. So we have these are common tools that the client actually requires us to use. So we have Discord, Slack, Teams, and other communication tools. The most basic one are like WhatsApp and other usual tools that you can communicate with the client. So inside Google, there's also GChat, which can also be used to communicate with your client. I'm actually using this when with one of the direct client that I'm handling. So it's their preference. If you're gonna ask me, you always need to ask and communicate with them. What's the most easy tool for them to use? Okay, so it's always them. It's always their preference. Now, aside from Teams, it's just a simple, just like Messenger. The only thing is for you to communicate with them. So there's paid communication tool and there's free tools like the GChat, Messenger, the most common one, WhatsApp. Those were free, but there's also Discord actually is free. This is Discord, and this is what Strategic Assistance is also using to communicate with the VAs. So we have different group chats here. One thing that I like with Discord, this is free, and at the same time, there's like three channels that or three categories that we can actually add, or it is already on the Discord. So there's communication, or sorry, there's information category, there's text channels, and voice channels. So under information, we can create more channels. So under information, we have resources wherein we put in everything that, let's say, website or blogs or anything that can actually help everyone that we think it will be great for everyone to know. So we put it under resources. Then, of course, announcement. This is where we're putting all of the announcement that needs to be known by everybody inside SAS. And text channel is composed of different um, uh, channels as well, or different what do you call that, yeah, channels. So the good thing about it is you can add multiple depending on how many channel that you need. So for us right now, we have the general channel, salary channel in case they have any questions or anything about salary, Monday Friday support, top tracker, onboarding, random. So these were all created depending on some clients are using this, and then the channels are made according to, let's say, projects or tasks that you're working with a client. So it really depends, but this is what's going on uh, with SAS. Okay, so we have random channel as well, wherein we can share anything. under the sun. So it's like chismisan time. So we can do it here in random. So everybody can see this. Everyone that's part of this group chat. So once you're already part of SaaS, I mean, you already got your client with SaaS, or you are a lead generation. You're part of lead gen, then you will be added here on this channel. And then of course, voice channel, as we all know, once we join this either in lounge or meeting room, everybody can actually join. So just simply video call for everyone under Discord, and this is for free. So there's also other communication tool that the clients preferred, like Slack. So this is how Slack looks like. What happened is you will receive an invite on your email to join this specific Slack channel, just like what happened to me. So I have several Slack channel here, meaning to say these are the number of clients that I'm also handling. So one of them, I'm just gonna give you a quick sample, is the lifestyle studio. This is one of the clients that I'm handling. And just like Discord, there are also different channels that can be created according to what the clients wanted to create here. So these are different channels that the client created. And of course, there's also an option to send a direct message to anyone that's part of this channel. Okay, so this is paid, if I'm not mistaken. However, yeah, this is paid, and this is one of their preference. So it's the client, it's what they want. There's also an option to do a video call here in Slack, so it just really works the same as Discord. Okay, so that's Slack. And then there's Teams, which works the same way. Can create group chats as well, and then do uh, direct call, or direct message rather. So it's just, well, it's easy to learn, and that's the way that the client wanted to communicate with you. So just go ahead and what do you call that, once there's an invite, or the client said that this is the communication tool that we want you to use, then just go ahead and join using the invite that they sent for you to be able to access it. So communication tool. Now let's move on. Where is it again? This one. So there's to-do apps like Trello, Asana, and Monday.com. I don't have access that I can show you to Monday.com or Asana. However, you can watch YouTube videos on how it works with Monday.com and Asana. However, I do have a sample with Trello, which is a free tool that you can also utilize on your own. You can also do it. Well, it's free, so you can start using it if you wanted to learn more about this to do apps, because it has the same feature. They're different brands, yes, but they have the same feature. So once you know one of them, it will be easy for you to learn the other tools. Okay. So one example again is Trello. This is how it looks like. I'll show you. Hold on, sorry. Let me show you the right, or let's say, okay. I created my own workspace. You can actually create multiple workspace, but I'll just show you just one, which is my own workspace. So there's to-do list, or there's boards actually. Per workspace, you can create maximum of 10 boards, and this is how you can create it. I just click on plus sign. Um, Once you reach the 10 boards, because that's the only free boards that you can create, up to 10, you can create another workspace if you wanted, if you need more. So yeah, it's just simple as creating these to-do lists. So we have your task. I'm actually the one who did this, but it really depends on how you want it to be organized on your end. So I have here a board, or this one for task, list of tasks, and then I added one that says priority task, meaning to say these are the things that I need to work on immediately. And then of course, once I have a specific task that I'm working on, I can just simply drag this and put this under doing if I am already working on it. Now, if there are tasks that are not really not my priority, or doesn't really need to be prioritized, and there's no specific due date, then I can uh, da- drag it under pending. So that's how I wanted to do my to-do list. And of course, aside from that, I also added here one that says done. So meaning to say I was able to complete all of the tasks in there. So under task, you just have to click on add card, and let's say finish the general VA training video. So that's a task that I need to do, and I wanted it to be under priority because I need to finish it this week. And to show it, once you click this one plus sign, you just have to edit the date, meaning to say this is the due date that you want it to be completed. So I'd say 17, which is tomorrow, and it's gonna be um, this is color yellow, meaning to say the due date will be tomorrow. Once it's color red, it's already due or it is already past due. And then if it's green, meaning to say there's still time before the due date. Okay, so there's color coding on it. That's automatically done by Trello. Now, aside from that, once you click this icon, it will show you other things that you can work on under this card that you added. So if you open the card, here. Okay, so you can add more description. So finish the general training video. You can add description like create a presentation first, or outline rather, something like that. So I can just simply click save. Now, if you've added other person, because this is a collaborative to do tool, meaning to say you can add other person to work inside this workspace. That's why it's called workspace. So if you have anyone that you shared this workspace, then you can comment here and then tag them. Let's say Fred is here, so I'm gonna tag them. Fred, please help me with this, something like that. Or if I have any question about this board, I can just go ahead and tag Fred. And once Fred open it up on his end, he will be able to receive a notification about my question. Okay. So this is a collaborative to do app is a collaborative application that's being used by the VA and the client, wherein the usual way is that the client is going to be adding tasks here on a daily basis, and then the client will also be the one to add like due dates. And then if you have any question for the client about a specific task that was not added under description, you can just simply ask the client. You can communicate here, and then the client can reply. You can reply back. So you can communicate inside this tool. This is really is a powerful tool. And you can add attachments, checklist, or add more members, or like, what else? I guess that's it. So you can explore more. Well, don't be afraid to take advantage of this tool. It's for free. And the client prefers usually to use this kind of application or tool. Um, that's it. If you know how to use Trello, it will be easy for you to learn how to use Asana, Monday.com, and the other to do tool. Okay. So I guess that's it for now. Please feel free to take a look or sign up for this tool and explore it. So aside from the to do, I also added here another board about SMM planning. This is actually me. It means social media planning for my own social media account. So for this, you can also do the same thing under to do, like putting photos like this. However, I don't want to do it under to do. I want it to be as neat as possible. But since, under social media, you need to be creative. So I'm just adding these pictures here. But I just, well, the main purpose that why I'm showing you this is for you to be aware that there's a lot of things that you can actually do under this tool. Okay. So I guess that's it. Let me just go back. Okay, so to do apps. Okay, so I guess that's it. These are the basic tools that you need to learn if you don't know it yet. There's a lot of ways how you will be able to upskill or to continue to learn while you're waiting for a client. But I guess that's it for now, and I hope you were able to learn a lot for today. Thank you and have a great day.